Hello, welcome back to Mark's house and garden. I'm not at my house at the moment, I'm at the in-laws and they've asked me for some help with this plant. It's been in this pot for 3 or 4 years and it's starting to suffer. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it out of this pot and get it into the garden. Where it's going are some Yorkshire foggrass, so I'm going to dig those up and I'm going to take those home. This is a Pittosporum, or a mock orange, or a Japanese mock orange, and it doesn't ever grow oranges, of course. It's called a mock orange because it gives off a lovely citrus smell. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my father-in-law's shoes on and try and get that out of the pot. Now the mock orange is a low maintenance plant, supposed to be, but no plant is zero maintenance, and the reason this is suffering is because it's never ever been fed or repotted. But for the rest of its life now, it's going to be treated like royalty because it's actually going in the ground, so it will be in proper earth. I've just got to get it out of this pot. So if you're doing something like this, obviously be careful with your back. I'm just going to lie it on its side and see if I can manipulate it out. And out it comes. Now I'm on a hard surface here, so I can brush this up. So what I'm going to do next is remove a bit of this spent compost. And whilst I'm doing this, I'm just damaging the roots a little bit, and that will be good because that will stimulate new root growth when it gets into its new home. Now that pot's not going to stay empty. My mother-in-law loves these. It's an Impatiens, and it's called New Guinea, and she loves them because they flower throughout the summer. So that pot is going to have fresh compost in it, and it's going to be planted up with these Impatiens. Now before I plant this pot, I can see it's only got 2 drainage holes there, so I'm just going to put these bricks or half bricks over the top of those, and that will help stopping those from getting full of compost when it's watered. Now in theory you don't really need to fill this with fresh compost. You could fill it with some other matter like branches or logs or even polystyrene, but we do have enough compost to fill this up. I'm just going to fill this about 2/3 so that I can get the Impatiens in on top. Got quite a few lumps in it, so I'm just going to break those up. And this is fresh compost, so it's in really good condition, and this will feed those Impatiens throughout the year, but they will need watering. So let's get those 5 Impatiens in this pot, and then I can use the empty compost bag to collect my prize, which is a foggrass. We've got 5, so we'll have 1 in the middle and 4 around the outside, and I'm going to plant them so that they're not quite at the top, so that they can be watered without the water overflowing and running off. Then of course the final thing is to just fill these gaps with a bit more compost and give it a good soaking. Then we will take the Pittosporum and plant it in its new home. Now even though this is spent compost, my mother-in-law wants me to put it round her hydrangea as a mulch. And this is where the Pittosporum is going to be planted, but I've got to get this grass out first. That grass is my prize today. It's a free plant for my garden. So that's the grass out now. I just need to dig a hole approximately the same size as the root ball. Now if you're planting azaleas or rhododendrons, you need to check what sort you've got first, because some of them like acid soils. This will grow in any soil, and hopefully by getting it in June, July, would you believe it, looking at the weather, it will get established before the end of the year, and then next spring it will burst and flower and be in its pomp. Let's dig a hole for it to be planted into. I think that's about right now. So first thing I'm going to do is offer it up just to see if I've got the right size hole. It's perfect. Next thing I'm going to do, get some water in the hole, and then it's just a question of planting it up and backfilling. Now, I want the mother-in-law's approval as to which way round she wants, so she's in the window behind me, so I'm going to ask her if she wants it round a bit. That'll do apparently. So the next thing I'm going to do is just go in and backfill with all this soil that I've removed. Give it a good firm in with my fist. And now finally, just as I did with the Impatiens at the front of the house, I'm going to give it a good soak. I think a lot of people think because it's raining the plant's getting watered, but the rain doesn't provide anywhere near enough water, especially when you've just shocked a plant by moving it. Now, because of the lay of the land here, we're at the bottom of a slope and it's quite clayey down there. This area does stay quite wet, but if it doesn't, clearly you need to keep it watered for the next 6 months until it's got established. Now, I did think about taking away a lot of the branches that haven't got any growth on to see if they would rejuvenate from further down, but I've decided that I'm just going to leave them until next spring, and then if there's any dead wood I'll come back with the secateurs and prune it back. Hopefully that plant will now enjoy a lovely new existence in my mother-in-law and father-in-law's garden, and I am now going to have a chippy dinner. See you soon for some more mock orange adventures. Bye for now.